Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide 5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium 5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they can have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.
don't see. What's yours for the taking tonight?
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord have mercy. Jesus help me. Listen. Oh, look at us back there on the, okay. Look, let me just tell you. Don't drink wine at your desk. We have house guests. So I was down here working last evening because I had some things to finish up and they all flew in and everybody's all upstairs. So they bring me wine. Oh, we want to see. No sooner than they handed it to me, what did I do? I might as well have just lifted the thing and poured it into this keyboard. I turned it upside down. I tried to get it all out. Oh, Lord, I touched it. I can't touch it. It makes all this very official looking website developed stuff go all over. It's just horrible. Now, my mouse even, it's like everything's firing slowly. I wonder if it's connected. So I'm going to definitely have to order a new keyboard today. Anyway, let's talk about something more important than that, my keyboard. That bridge in Maryland, did you guys hear about that last night around 1:30 in the morning? I think it's called the Francis Scott Key Bridge? It's a big bridge. Last night, a ship hit the bridge at 1:30 in the morning. They're saying they think it's around 7 cars that plunged into the depths of the river, and they have not found the cars or the people yet. So sending prayers and everything out to those people and just the city and just everybody involved. I mean, you're just driving along, minding your own business, and all of a sudden you're underwater. Right? Ooh, so there's that. We are supposed to have tornado-like conditions here in Chicago. Well, Naperville, the suburb that I live in, around 9:30 this morning. So I'm already in the bunker, so I'm safe. It's those people upstairs that need to be worried. So anyway, keep your eye out. Send prayers out to all the people that are suffering today, no matter what it's about or where they're at. So let's do that. Okay. So welcome to the show. Okay. Let's get together because we got a deep conversation to have today. I still cannot believe I poured the whole glass just right in the keyboard. So anyway, can you imagine? I'm just going to say the next time you think, boy, I've got it bad. Oh, poor me, poor me. You know, you go to a meeting, a work meeting, like you've done many times, and then you don't see your family again for 5 years. You might, well, at least he's still alive, our guest today. I bet there were some times he didn't think he would be. We got a lot to talk about, but that's what happened. You may have heard about it. Our good friend Jose is here today. And I don't want to butcher his last name, but I'm going to try. Jose Pereira. Wait. It's tough. Pereira. No, and Pereira. Something in there. We call, well, his good friends, and I am one of them, get to call him Jose P. So there it is. Listen, that's the bell of purpose. It's here every day. I don't ring it on accident. It's not a prop. It's not a gimmick. It is an opportunity. It's a reminder that just like that bell has a ring to it, so does the truth. And I know we get busy. We're doing all kinds of things at the same time. I don't want you to miss anything that could change your life. And the truth will always change your life. It's the only thing in the universe that does not change, and it will not change on us. Hallelujah. So there's that. And welcome to the show, please. She's my sidekick. This is my girl. Been here all 8 years. Lucy McGillicuddy. Was that a senior moment? I'm so sorry for butchering it. Ooh, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. I think I need a vacation. Who needs a vacation? Drop it in the comments. Listen, seriously though, I just want to say this. Get ready. I want you to share this broadcast out This is an incredible story. Just absolutely, absolutely incredible. Our good friend Jose P., he was wrongfully detained and held captive in Venezuela. Now, he is Venezuelan born and raised, but he has dual citizenship. He went there for a meeting. Like I said, he was an oil executive. You may have heard of the brand, and he refers to it as a brand, the group of people, the 6 of them that were held captive for 5 years, known as the Citgo 6. Remember Citgo, the gas stations, right? I remember back in the 70s, they had a bumblebee thing that you could stick on your antenna back when cars had antennas. And I just love it. And they had little stickers and stuff. Citgo. Yeah. And anyway, an executive, I think 25 years, 35 years, a long time. He worked there. His only crime was that he is an American. And that's what happened. Before he was taken hostage, he said, yes, 35 years he spent as an oil company executive and CEO of Citgo Petroleum, a U.S.-based refineries complex and broad gas station distribution center. Now, we're going to get him in here to hear how this can happen. I don't know about you. I mean, I was held hostage once. I'm trying to decide which direction to go with this because I really wasn't. But I was going to say, well, actually, we were role playing. That's for another show. I'll go with that one. But anyway, let's get him in here. He's never been here before. I want to get started. Share this broadcast out. I mean, how often do you get to ask questions and listen to and get poured into from someone with this type of a story? Put your hearts on the screen. That's how we welcome our guest today. Here he comes, Mr. Jose.
Hey,
Everything's so. Hi, Jose. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
As well as can be. I think my keyboard is still drunk.
Yeah, I was laughing when you were saying that because that happened to me the other day too. But what's with with the water?
Did you? Is it working? Did it dry out?
It could, yes. It dried out. Yeah.
But at first, the next day, was it all wonky? Was it acting weird?
I had to put it like 2 days, and at the end, it began to work again.
It began to work. Yeah. I was thinking of getting a hairdryer or something. You guys, you know what to do? It's not like a phone where you can put it in a bag of rice. Remember that when you drop your phone in the toilet or something, you could put it in a bag of rice?
Yeah.
Dry it out. That happened once. Yeah. So I'm doing that. And if you guys think I'm distracted, don't forget. Our good friends at Cloud have sent me the mini Cloud and the maxi Cloud, which is upstairs. And this thing sends molecular something all through. And I have arthritis in this hand. So I put it on there 15 minutes morning, noon, and night. And it's really working. It really is. I get it for 30 days. So, and it's cool because it's like it's like $250 a week to rent. Right? I know. Well, it better do it now because I won't be. So, Jose, what a story. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being so patient with us, for finding a date to get you here. So I want to get into the story, but before I do, I always allow the guest to have just 60 seconds to create your own vibe. I'm going to go away and let you just say good morning, say hello, start it off in your own way, and then I'll come back in and we'll get started because this is a deep, deep subject today. So say hello, and I'll be right back. Take it away, all you.
Okay. Well, thank you for the audience for having me. My name is Jose Pereira.
Pereira.
Yes, it's a Portuguese last name. Well, as you said, I was a long-time executive. I was Venezuelan born. I began my career in 1985 in Venezuela in the oil and gas, in the Venezuelan oil and gas company, the PDVSA. At the time, PDVSA was the 5th oil and gas in the world. I did all my career there in several multicultural joint ventures. And like 15 years ago, I was transferred here to the U.S. to the Houston-based affiliate that is Citgo Petroleum. Everybody knows Citgo. By the way, in Chicago, there are a lot of Citgo gas stations.
Yeah,
I remember being in a game in the Ringling Field that we were sponsored one time when I was there. So, well, I did my career there. In 2017, I went to a business trip, as you said. I was called to a last-minute business trip. I was getting retired. I was ready to get retired. and that happened like 3 months after before we getting retired. I received a phone call last minute Saturday in a movie with my wife, and I flew the other day, and it became to be a settlement.
So
because
you thought you were going. What day of the week did you go?
I went on Saturday, and the meeting happened on Monday.
And
So
you told your wife when you left on Saturday, okay, honey, I'll see you Wednesday, Thursday. What day did you think you were coming back?
2 days after was Thanksgiving. So we were planning to have our Thanksgiving and fly to Aruba because we were having a project in Aruba, staying in December in Aruba, Caribbean island, and get retired in February. So I already had plans. So I told her, hey, mommy, we will see you tomorrow. So, because I typically did that. I flew there, made meetings, and sometimes came back the same night or the other day. So for me, it was very common doing that. So it became 5 years.
So were you in the meet? So you get there and you get into your hotel or whatever, and then the day comes of the meeting. Did you ever go to the meeting?
Yes, the meeting, I can tell you, the meeting not only was like 1,000 people because it was a big crowd. I made the presentation because we were revamping a refinery in Aruba. I did a presentation, a standing ovation. I said, wow, good way to close your career, standing ovation, 1,000 people. And when I was finishing, I had the driver that was going to drive me to the airport. I had a plane in the airport. And suddenly came like 20 guys, 6 plus tall, with those, I always call RoboCop outfit because they were all dressed in black.
RoboCop, yeah. Like,
very
Kevlar and stuff.
Yeah, a very tall guy with that type of RoboCop outfit and with some mask with skeleton faces. When I saw this guy, I said, who are these guys? And they have here something that said Dijesim. When I asked the guy that I had with me, what is that Dijesim? That guy was scared. He said, Jose, that is the counterintelligence police of this country. This is a communist regime, and they use this type of Praetorian guard. These are the guys that take care of the political prisoners. So today I am aware.
Yes. So they walk into the venue where this is happening with 1,000 people there.
With 1,000 people, and they wanted to do the show. The show never happened because the guy that I was with me, I blessed this guy because he put me in a separate room and everything happened in a separate room because this guy wanted to come to us, put us the handcuff and everything in front of all the audience. So that had been a big show. That show never happened. Well, that didn't change the story.
What? Okay, so did they have weapons?
Oh yeah, of course. These are militaries. They came with them. The commander was a general. Was like a squad with a general. Yeah. It's blow mind. It's totally bizarre.
Okay, so they walk straight through everybody and come up to the stage
and ask for me. Who is Jose Pereira? And I said, I'm here. And then
I would have pointed. I don't know. Who ever heard of him? I don't know him. So you said that's me.
My friend, I was in shock. You don't know how you can react in that moment. So
what did you think was happening, Jose?
For me, I believe there was a mistake. I can tell you the first 2 days, I really thought there was a mistake because even though we went through that situation, in the second day, when I learned what the charge they were putting us, they were charging us to be spies, to treason of the country, to corruption, embezzlement, and a lot of things. I said, there is something wrong. There is a mistake because we never thought that we could get caught. You never think in this. Nobody in your.
This is 2017.
Correct. You're not.
So wait a minute. That means you guys were hostages all during COVID.
Yes, and I went 2 times. I had 2 times COVID.
You did?
Yes, and I was almost in tube. Yes, and I suffered a heart attack. Yes, and I have a fainted and stayed 3 days in coma, and I lost 100 pounds. So I went through a lot of things.
I saw that where you said you lost 100 pounds. Said you were literally starving.
A lot of things.
Oh, let's get started. Okay. So you guys see, I told you Share it out. This is going to be a humdinger. So an international hostage is what they say you were. And you returned home not long ago as a result of a prisoner swap. So we'll get to that too. But let's go back to the beginning, the Citgo 6. So the 6 of you were targeted. So they got every single one that they were after?
Yeah, they asked me that day I came. They said, okay, come with these executives. So they wanted to have all of us were dual citizens. So that's the way.
Wait a minute. Who told you to come with them?
Uh,
The country?
yes, of course. They have a list. So when they asked for me, because this guy they came with me. They were my vice presidents. So we were literally like the board of the company, and when they asked for us, everybody was in shock. By the way, one of the guys that were with me was the first time I saw him because he was the vice president in a refinery that is in Corpus Christi, like in the border of Mexico. So they called me to invite him, and that was the first time I saw the guy. So that was a total bizarre situation. Today,
how long do you think they planned this, Jose?
Well, this came to because in August of that year, let's say like 6 months before, Trump began to impose sanctions to the country. They began to impose sanctions to officers to the country, and he did an oil embargo. So the situation in Venezuela began to go really bad. So I believe that this guy planned this during that time because they didn't have nothing to negotiate with Trump. So they took us, and when we learned that we began to be the political pawns, we said, okay, this is serious. And it began to go so serious that a U.S. ambassador got recalled. Until today, there is not a U.S. ambassador in Venezuela. The U.S. ambassador at the end was expelled because he tried to go to visit us like 11 times. And I learned today, because I know the story, because my family has told me all the things.
Yes.
The first days, immediately, they contacted the U.S. government, and the U.S. get involved immediately. So the situation began to evolve since day one. But the relation with Venezuela was so bad that when they recalled the U.S. ambassador and we learned that, we said, okay, now we're lost here because we were there, no ambassador, no focal point. So
okay, now you are a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about yours because I know it could be different with each person. You don't know, but let's go with yours. Here you are. You're a U.S. citizen. And you find yourself, let's talk about this part. They kept you underground and in an area referred to as the submarine. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What did it look like? And how soon did you end up down there after you were on stage giving your presentation? Was it that same day?
No, the same date. The presentation was like at 9 a.m. in the morning. They caught us like, let's say, around noon. And we arrived to that location like 2 a.m. in the morning, like 12 hours going. We were in an armored truck with a lot of guys with, big guns and rifles and all the paraphernalia. And when we arrived to the prison, we were all the day with handcuffs, all sweating, And when we arrived, they put us not in the submarine. They put us in a place they call the Bullfish. So we went in the Bullfish and we had to sleep handcuffed.
You had to sleep handcuffed?
Yes. And the other day came a military, and they separated the 6 of us. I was transferred to the submarine. It was like a 3-story down in a basement. And I saw the other guys 1 year after.
You saw them a year later?
A year later, yeah. A year later.
Now, did you think, it's just too much. Did you think, okay, well, certainly in a week or so, this will be over with? How long did it take before you realized?
We we saw that first week that this was going to be solved because we were beginning to have some information that the U.S. government was trying to do things, and there was some negotiation. So we really saw that that was going to be clarified or whatever. But after 1 week, my boss, that was the who made me the call, he was caught. And when he was caught, we said, okay, now this is coming even worse, serious. That guy died there 1 year after. He didn't.
did?
He went to a severe depression and he passed 1 year after. So he died there
In captivity.
in captivity. This is one of the cases that today is in the International Penal Court against Venezuela. Because he died in prison. Yeah, he didn't make it. He didn't make
So,
it.
did anybody from the United States come to visit you?
After 4 years. After 4 years. We
After
got
4 years?
Yes. We got the first visit in December 2021, 1 year before we came in October the next year. Because now the administration changed. Now it's Biden. Biden had appointed a guy that there is today an office called the Special Presidential Office for Hostage Affairs. It's attached to
Special Presidential Office for Hostage Affairs.
Yes, and it's attached to the State Department, and there is an ambassador that runs that office. That guy visited us 1 year before we were, and he began to do direct negotiations with the government. That's the way we finally.
That's how you ended up with the prisoner swap
Yeah.
that got you home eventually.
Correct.
How
And
many times?
this is the same guy that negotiated the release of Brittany Griner and Trevor Reed and all these other guys that have been released, has been always this guy.
So that's the hostage negotiator, just like we see on TV and in the movies.
Yeah, well, this is a real guy.
This is the real guy. So let me ask you this. If you had to estimate how many times in those 5 years that you really, down to your core, in your spirit, you thought you were going to die there, how many times do you think you thought that?
Several times, and I can tell you at some point, even in the first year, I was alone, I was depressed, I was isolated, I had the light 24/7 turns on, I lost the sense of time, I was totally abandoned. I didn't know nothing because I didn't have contact neither with my family, neither with my colleagues. So I didn't know what was going on. I thought that I was going to die there. And after 1 year that we got together, I could begin to smuggle letters with my wife. And the way I began to write those letters was because I thought that I was going to die. And I was thinking, well, at least she's going to have the letters. And
I think that's a fascinating piece of your story. Let's get to that. But first, before we get to the letters, I wanted to just ask you, were there other people from other organizations or companies that were prisoners there too, or was it just the 6 of you?
No, because we were put, we stayed 2.5 years in the first location that is called Helicoide, DGCIM, and that's 2.5 years in El Helicoide. The first location is a military location. They have there all the military political prisoners. They have generals, they have colonels, captains, lieutenants, sergeants, a lot.
Americans?
Huh?
Americans?
No, Venezuelans.
Venezuela.
They are against the government. You know, people that they think that they try to make.
Like you're a communist.
Yes.
I mean, like here when they were like rounding people up. Yeah.
That's a communist regime. Okay.
Did you see any other Americans outside of the 6 of you?
Of course, after when we were transferred to the next location, after we arrived to the next location, a couple of months after, there was a kind of a operation, that bizarre operation, the military operation, and there were 2 Americans there, and they stayed with us. By the way, they were our neighbors, and they were released this last December.
Oh, good. So what about this? Can we talk about, well, you're so open about it. I'm shocked at how PTSD. I'm sure there is a certain amount of that. How could there not be? So let's talk about the treatment. What was the day-to-day treatment? And we see movies and we hear, but this isn't something you get to just sit down and talk to people across dinner about all the time. This is a very unique opportunity. So was the treatment on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how bad would you say it was overall?
In the beginning was 11. In the beginning, I can say it could have been 11. And after that happened, the situation began to evolve, but always stayed in the range to 7 or 8. Okay. But when we came back, one of the things that the U.S. government did with us, that we were putting a program, that's the one they do for the prisoner of war and missing in action. I went through that program that is here in San Antonio, Texas. After that, I went to a national trauma center. And today, I still have a therapist every Thursday.
I bet. Do
Yeah,
you ever have dreams, Jose, where you wake up because you think you're back there?
That episode in the beginning was really happening, and the triggers, I can tell you, the first month, my wife was kind of crazy with the triggers I was having. Unfortunately, I have been solving the situation. My therapist today, we are friends. She did a wonderful job making me do regressions, events that happened, things like, for example, every time they turn the lock of the cell, that clank clank. Every time I was hearing something like that, I was like in paralyzing, So today I believe that I've been handling better the situation, but yeah.
So,
and for me, talking this has been part of my healing process.
I imagine. So, Jose, were you interrogated? Did they need did you have information? What made you so valuable? Were you just a pawn?
We were all just a pawn because we were not valuable, to tell you the truth. Because the problem with this situation, my friend, and the audience to understand, that this is something that is called the hostage diplomacy. So they don't care who you are. They care is the citizen that you have. Because this happened not only in the US, this happened in UK, Australia, France, Belgium. Normally, first world countries that are having some issue with a third or fourth world country, and they use you like a pawn. So, of course, typically the hostage is a high profile guy, but not a politician. High profile. You can be an executive, or you can be a human rights advocate, or you can be a priest. There was a priest that was taken hostage in Niger. So normally you're a high profile guy. They take and they negotiate for you. But we were not, they didn't care about us. We were only a figure to be negotiated. That was all.
What was the food like?
Well, the first year, as I said, I lost 100 pounds because the food was, I don't know if I could call that food.
What did they bring you? I mean, bread and water? What was it?
I can tell you the first year, a rotten neck, a rotten chicken neck with some noodles, with some spam, very bad. That when you saw that, I could not eat that. I stayed days without eating.
Okay, just some nasty shit. There it is. We'll just say that. It was some nasty shit. There it is. Oh my. So, but you had to eat it or starve.
Well,
what about hygiene?
Sometimes I prefer to starve because I begin to have severe stomach issues. I begin to bleed, and that was, so was a, if I eat it, maybe I can die. I can poison myself. So that was the situation I was going through.
So let's get to the letters. I think it's brilliant. How did you come up with the idea? I think I read where 1,000 letters.
Yeah. After 1 year,
smuggled letters in the trash.
Yes. let me tell you how we did it, because my wife always say, "Hey, you don't never say how it was." So let me explain the
Okay,
other.
yeah. Don't make her mad. Right.
Because 1 year after, when because the situation began to evolve at some point, that now the press was making pressure, is where we were put the brand to be, we became the Citgo 6. And at some point, the UN flew to Venezuela, and there was a big thing. They saw our condition. I learned that the other guys were there and were almost in the same condition. All we were starving, so they decided to put us together. They were We were starving for two things, because the food was bad and the condition in Venezuela was so bad there was no food, because now the sanctions were so severe. There's no food, no gasoline, no medicine, no electricity. It was terrible, the situation in the country. So this guy, the UN began to pressure to allow us to have food. So the government authorized that our family provide us food. So one of my eldest son, that he was,
Oh, that's right, because you had family in Venezuela.
no, he was not in Venezuela. He was in Aruba. So he flew to Colombia. No, he was not in Venezuela.
Okay.
He flew to Colombia. He moved to Colombia, and he began to provide me the food from Colombia. So he bought.
Wow. How'd he get it to you?
Well, there was a guy that we contacted, and family contacted. That guy picked up the box with food. His wife cooked it, and every 2 days delivered the food to me for the next 2 days. So he did it like every 2 days. He provided the food for the next 2 days. So it was a total logistic. When I needed to get back the trash cans, because there was no cans, so I had to send it back so they can wash it and put new food.
So wait. So the food was being smuggled.
Yes. No, the food, no, the letters.
Okay. So you were sending the letter. Ah.
But I did it when I was sending back the trash can. I did like I learned that putting the double bottom, they didn't see it. So I began to put the letters inside. So this guy was bringing me with the food some handkerchiefs, and he smuggled a pen. I began to write there and begin to put the letter, and the letter began to go through. And after that, I began to get a letter from my wife. So we began to do like a communication in a 2-day basis. And this guy, let me tell you, he took the letters, he took a photo and sent it to my wife to here in Houston. My wife printed out, and then she write me in, and she began to put the letters in the computer. That's why when I came back, I found the letters already in Word. She transcribed the
Yes, smart. Because the thing about it is, you're creating a paper trail, because you don't know what the outcome will inevitably be. You don't know, is he going to die there? Is this the last letter? What?
Let me tell you, my first letter, I wrote it, I have it here, was December 30, 2018, almost 1 year after.
You have that letter?
That was my first letter, December 30, 2018. Almost at the end of the year, I wrote a letter almost saying goodbye to my wife, because I didn't know if I was going to survive it.
Do you have a letter handy?
Oh, yeah. I have.
Can you share a little? How do you? I guess you do.
These are part of the letters that I have here.
Oh, can you just grab one and read a little?
Oh, well.
Or do you have a favorite? Or I know that's kind of an odd thing to ask, but oh my goodness.
I'm prepared for that, but yeah.
Are you prepared? Okay, good. Here.
No, I'm not prepared, but all the letters.
Anything is we'll take anything.
Well, this is one that my wife she sent the letters in. Oh, I have to organize all this stuff. Well, for example, she is telling me here, because I sent a letter to her and she replied to me, and then she was answering me a question that I was making. She was talking to me about how the things were going, things going here in the family with my kids, with my grandson.
Jose, what would have happened if they had discovered these letters?
I can tell you, I took the risk. I don't know. I cannot answer that because to tell you the truth, I'm alive and I'm here. It could be bad for me. It could have been bad for me.
Did you see people beaten?
Yes, of course.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Remember, this is a communist regime. Yeah, of course.
Why? I mean, for what kind? Did you were you ever beaten?
I was not beaten because they knew that they could not touch us physically. But they did
so they couldn't.
Of course not, but they did a lot of psychological thing. But I have an episode with a guy that, by the way, that case is also in the International Penal Court. This is a military that he was caught. I remember, Lauren, that when that guy came, he was so beaten that he was purple. All the body was purple, and my family by that moment was sending me medicines, and I have received a big, like, I don't know, 100 pills of Advil. I give it to the guy. I said, hey, take it. He was so beaten. He was purple, all of purple. Oh, yeah. We heard, I can tell you, we heard, we saw. Yeah.
So
many of those things I tell in with a lot of detail in my book because are part of what I put in my letters.
tell us about the book. I know I saw your TED talk, and in there you were saying that you're going to use the letters. I think that's brilliant to create the book. Any idea when that's going to be available?
I believe it's going to be like in 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah. Because I received yesterday the last proofreading and editing, and I returned it back yesterday to the editor. So now he's gonna be formatting, and yesterday I have because I did a pre-campaign through a page called Publicizer. I'm gonna activate it today again if somebody wants to begin to pre-order it, because I believe that in less than 1 month it's gonna be out.
It's going to be out. Now, I saw somewhere, I don't remember where, but back when I first was put in touch with you, I saw a mural somewhere. Where is that mural that is of the 6 of you?
Okay, well, that mural, that's a very key question because in May, like 6 months before we came, one of the daughter of one of the guy that was with me, the guy that I said that I didn't know him, that was the first time I saw him.
Oh, yeah.
She was really kind of championing all the families. And she had created a movement that she called the Citgo 6 Coalition. I have it here. Citgo 6
Wow. The Citgo 6 Coalition.
Yes. And we had a never give up. So she created the Citgo 6 Coalition. So we began to talk with the Citgo 6 Coalition. And at some point, she met another lady that she was making campaign for a guy that was kept in hostage in Rwanda. You know that Rwanda, yeah. You saw a long time ago a movie called Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy was hostage. His name is Paul Rusesabagina. So he was kept in Rwanda. And the family of him that was campaigning with him, that, by the way, she became my mentor when I came back. She became my mentor. So these 2 ladies got together with another lady that has his brother in Iran. So these 3 ladies, they got together and they created a foundation called the Bring Our Family Home Campaign.
I was going to get to that next, the Bring Our Family Home campaign. We're going to talk about that.
I can tell you, Bring Our Family Home campaign can be a movie because it's a beautiful...
Because you said, when you brought that in, I saw you were in an interview and you said, the reason this is so important, the Bring Our Family Home campaign, is because this sort of thing is happening far more than we would ever imagine. We don't hear about it. Why don't we hear about it? When I heard about you, I was like, how do I not know this?
Because one of the problem that I have had this situation that today is that maybe the people are more aware, are more news in the media, because also the situation that is going on right now in the Middle East has boosted the situation of the hostage. But I can tell you, my friend, there are people that hosted in China for 12 years, or in Syria for 10 years, or in Iran for 7, 8 years. So there are a lot of people, but this situation, unfortunately, wasn't not taken care properly. So the Bring Our Family Home campaign, one of the beauties that it did is that created a movement that all the families got together. So when those families got together, one of the way to raise awareness and make pressure to the U.S. government, they create a mural that is in Washington, in Georgetown, in an alley in Georgetown. So there were 19 families. At the end were 20. One more was added after. So those 20 families decided to take the last photo they had for their family and created a mural. So my photo was the last photo that was taken by my wife before I was caught. So they did that beautiful mural, and the mural began to be like a sanctuary. But the mural had a concept, because the muralist that created the mural is a guy he's a muralist from Iowa called Isaac Campbell. He did it with wheat and glue. So the intention was that the mural fainted during that time. It's like a reverse Dorian Gray portrait.
Wow.
That time began to faint, because the intention was that the faces begin to faint as you are fainted in your hostage situation. So the mural was ripped out like
Wow.
2
That's
months ago.
powerful. Because it's easy to forget.
Yeah, but
the way
those 20 guys that are in the mural, almost 13 have already returned.
13.
Yeah.
And we hope the rest. How do people find out? Is there access for us as ordinary citizens to find out how many U.S. citizens are being held hostage in various places around the globe? How many would you say there are? Any idea, Jose?
Yes. Today, before the situation in Middle East were like 60, and adding the people that are in the Middle East.
How many?
Could go to 80 people right now. Only
80.
U.S. Americans. Only U.S. Americans. Only U.S. Americans. Yes, adding the people of the Middle East. Yes, because even that people has returned. There are people that have long time. There's a journalist that he's from Houston. His mother, wow, she's an amazing lady. Has done everything for his son, and he has like 12 years disappeared in Syria.
12 years.
Disappeared.
Well, I want to know this too. You were there for 5 years. You were literally on the clock because you were there for work. So did you get paid by Citgo for all 5 years? I mean, what did they do? What did they say? Were you retired when you came home?
I have a situation with them still going on, so I can talk too much with them.
Okay, I get it, because I'm like, that's a whole nother thing. Okay, you'll have to come back after you win that. So, because it's just so many things that we would never think would be happening. Now, let me ask you this. Did you feel like you were forgotten? Did you feel like this country did their best, or no?
No. I can say that they were fighting hard.
They were fighting hard?
Yeah,
that's good to hear.
During both.
Now, wait a minute. But were they fighting hard all 5 years, or after the White House switched?
In both cases, I had to be honest that in the first administration, they were, because the optics were different, because the first administration, the Trump administration, they were fighting hard, but because they were having those big issues with Venezuela, the negotiation were really complex. When nation changed, they swift the way to do it, and they begin to do more like a soft diplomacy. There are people that, this is a hard call because you get caught in the middle of the political situation. There are people that don't like that. They don't like that they do concessions to the Maduro regime because they think that they're promoting a communist regime. The problem is that there are real people there. It's the same case that with Putin in Russia. There are three guys today in Russia. There's a journalist, by the way, from the Wall Street Journal that is there. He was caught during he was doing interviews in Russia, and he was caught. And there is a guy that he went. His name is Paul Whelan. Paul Whelan flew to Russia to a wedding of his best friend, and he was caught there, and he has already, like, I don't know, 7 years. Wow. Yeah, there are big things, and so you get caught in the middle of the political thing. So
yes.
So one of the things is what you do, you let them behind. You have to bring the people. You have to bring the people. So
Absolutely.
It's a call because sometimes you have to give concessions.
I wanted to share. Yes. Okay. I wanted to share. Let's take a look at a little piece of this. Yeah, this CNN interview. Let's just take a look real quick. Share this with everybody real quick. I think we can do it. Let's see. We have a big store. Not get this to pull up. I will. Well, I'm going to make sure I drop your links in for everybody. It looks like, okay. Wait here.
I did that interview 1 month after I came. Anderson, we did that interview.
I cannot imagine.
Hold on. To wait. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. I mean, it must really be bad. Oh, yeah.
It's really slow, the connection.
You can see outside, it's pretty dark. Hold on, you guys.
Are you there?
Okay, well, you and I are back. They said the tornado watch was going to be here at 9 o'clock this morning, and that's in 6 minutes. So I guess it is going to. What I'm going to do, you guys, I'm going to put the links inside your comment section so you can watch it, because I can see on the radar thing over on the screen over there that it's getting pretty bad here, and I don't want to waste any time. We have about 2 minutes left. So I want to end this interview. Boy, I need to get you back. Hey, are you close to the other guys? Do you guys still hang out, you and the other?
Well, we got in December 27. We were called to a meeting with the mayor of Houston, and he did a proclamation, and he created a single 6 day here in Houston. So we now have officially our own day here in Houston. And yeah, we saw all of them. We saw our families, and everybody's doing great. Not everybody has been vocal like I am. There's another guy that also is being vocal, but the other 4 guys decided to be quiet. I respect that.
Yeah, I get it, because everybody heals in their own way.
Their own pace. But they're okay. I talked. We became friends. We did a strong bond.
How do you feel? Do you feel an obligation because you made it through to advocate for people that are in that situation now?
Of course. For me, it's a calling. Yeah.
A calling. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, Lord. This was so, we need you back. We barely got started. I'm gonna reach out to you. I think we ought to do a 90-minute special. I think we ought to do a 90-minute special and go even deep. There's so much more to unpack here. And it's just fascinating. The book, I cannot wait. That's what we need to do too. As soon as the book is out, get you back here. That's what we're going to do first. To promote the book. Jose, thank you so very much for just cracking the shell on this most important story. 5 years. Can you imagine? Go back in your own journey. Where were you 5 years ago today? What were you doing? You know, imagine if somehow, some way, 5 years was just taken from you, right? Man, Jose, you got to be a strong guy. And thank you so much for including us inside of your healing. I really appreciate it. I'm going to drop the links, like I said, but Google Jose. He's everywhere. I'm going to make it easy for you. And listen, as we get out of here today, you guys, be blessed and be the blessing for someone else. Jose, what a remarkable man you are. Thank you so much for all you do to help us understand the world we actually live in and not just keep walking as if it doesn't matter, through life. I really appreciate your everything, to be honest. Listen, thank you. Hang out backstage if you have a minute. And I want to talk to you real quick. And for you guys, I'll talk to you, God willing, tomorrow morning, right out there on the front porch as we convene yet again for another inspired conversation. Ute Luperitz is here tomorrow. She is like a hospice pet whisperer. People call her in when their pets are transitioning, and she speaks between both parties. She delivers messages to the pets and messages from the pets. Interesting woman, world-renowned. She'll be here tomorrow. So get out of here, find your highest self, do some good in the world, ease some suffering in the world, just like our good friend Jose right here has done today. I love you. As always, I tell you that in parting. And guess what? There's not a damn thing you can do about it. So there. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Blessings all. Thank you, Jose. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.